Well, the frequency is not in use. This is K4PEW, net control for the Mount Juliet Simplex radio net. There's no priority tracker. You would already been here, but it can be broken at any time. Call 911 if you have an emergency. You can see us right now on YouTube. Let's say us. It would be a screen on my meter, SWR signal strength meter. So you can see how your signal strength compares to others. You can also, through YouTube, which I'll tell you about in a second, can hear other stations that you might not normally hear due to a substandard or misplaced antenna on your part. You can put my call, K4PEW, into the search on YouTube, and it will bring up a premiere, and you can click on it and participate in that way. You can also go to 146415.net, look up some information on Simplex. You can go to groups.io, put in MJSS, that's Mount Juliet Simplex Society, into their search block. It'll bring up our net schedule, and you can sign up for email if you so desire. And also the email provides an opportunity to ask questions of about 200 people, 200 real experts in the amateur radio field. Anyway, now we can buy and sell equipment, and you can ask technical questions. Or you can send me an email and get a really bad answer at k4pew@arrl.net. We normally meet at 8 p.m. every Wednesday and Saturday night, not to exclude Sunday night at 7:30 on 10 meters, which I'll tell you about in a second. But we meet at 146.415 FM, and tonight we're going to go there, then the 28.415 upper sideband, and then on to 223.415. Of course, it's 415 on FM. Purpose of that is have fun. Figure out what you can hear, what you can't hear, how you can improve your station. Most hams who have or do participate in the net look for ways to improve their station. It also gives them a chance to gauge how well their station is doing, because sometimes things degrade. The antennas degrade, feed line can degrade, settings can degrade when you're pushing the wrong buttons on your radio and you got fat fingers. Not to mention anybody in particular other than myself. Excuse me. And so anyway, it's a good way to gauge what's going on, have fun, and meet with others on the air. I think it's the old school social, what do they call it? Social system, social media. That's what it is, social media. Does anybody else have any announcements? Because I don't have one other than we're doing those 3 nets tonight, and against the net tomorrow night, which is on 10 meters. I'm sorry, Sunday night on 10 meters, which is 28.415. Then 29.415 on FM, and then 223.415 on FM. Anyway, anybody else have any other announcements? Well, I'll take that as a no. We're currently doing net number 929, slowly creeping up next month, and I think it's the 21st or 22nd. We'll have finished the 9th year, going into our 10th year. And we're starting tonight from the west. But we'll be taking people short on time, mobile, and lovers of the Three Stooges. No, I leave the one out. Yeah, first time check-ins. Please come down.
Kilo 4, Bravo, Whiskey Alpha.
Hey, Ricky, did you get your antenna squared away?
Yeah, I'm on I put my new one up. I'm on a new Diamond 510. I'm just running 80 watts. I'm not going to use my amp with it anymore. I ended up burning one of those diodes not diodes, capacitors up in the other one. I'm going to repair it though.
You know, they're supposed to take 200 watts.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a little, I guess, theory on that, where you go in and you figure your wattage and all of this stuff, and it tells you how many volts it draws. And I was pushing, I think they say that you can comfortably do 100 and 200 watts, and that puts you at 500 volts. But the problem is I run the net, and sometimes those nets are drawn to like an hour, and I've been doing it for a while. So what I did over time, it just crystallized that ceramic, and it didn't burn the wires. It just basically dried out or it deteriorated the ceramic. So yeah, the ceramic disc around the wire, it just crumbled it up.
Well, you may be right. X5, X700, and I never ran anything more.
Well, I mean, well, then that kind of blowed that theory out of the water, didn't it? I don't know what to say now about that, but they say that you're supposed to 35 to 50 watts, and it might be the fact that they're just not suitable for nets. Long nets are, you know, that simplex where you talk on a high voltage. You know, that might be the problem.
No, you may well be right, and I just think it's well, I think you're on the answer, and I think running higher power over long periods of time might be the culprit. And I've been running 2 nets a week, and also getting on the air 700, aside from somebody's very busy repeater. But I would think you're right, and I think those little tiny, 2.5 picofarad capacitors, I understand, and the trouble. So anyway, I'm waiting. In fact, have you disassembled yours yet?
Well,
Did you disassemble the base of it?
yeah, I did. One I took down, and it was burned up. Like I said, the wires were there. It's just that the ceramic disc around created and crumbled and dust to dust. So yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly, but what we can do to make it accommodated for nets, long nets. I mean.
Yeah, I get it. Now, by the way, the reason I was even asking is I couldn't get mine apart because that set screw on the base. I don't want to belabor the point here on the air, but I couldn't get it loose. I couldn't even get the Allen wrench to fit in that and get it out. Somebody either screwed it up at the factory or whatever, but I'm going to have to get one of those screw extractors.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they do something because mine was hard to get the Allen wrench in there, and it would. I tried the metric, I tried the regular, I couldn't get one, and then finally I had to kind of tap it in there, like maybe there's some kind of silicone or there's something in there they put to keep you from getting to it. I don't know. I had trouble getting the Allen wrench in mine, but once I got it in there, it came right out.
Okay, I'll give it another try before I go buy a screw extractor. Anyway, I'm glad you checked in, and I'm glad you got your other. Yeah, I don't really. You see, that you're working on the premise, and I don't mean to again belabor this point, but with using high power from your location is a great idea. But you're going to reach the same amount of people, I'm sure, on 50 watts. I'm confident of it with your antenna.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. You know, I got that thinking that I would be able to reach out farther and everything. But you know what? It doesn't really matter. I mean, if they can't reach back, I mean, you got to be able to hear them. So what if you're reaching out 200 miles, but if you're only picking up 75 miles, then you have to rely on relay, and you don't always have that.
No, and that's what's odd about. That's the opposite of what when I started, and I haven't done one in a while. But we would do the 5-watt nets, and a couple of people said, "Well, that's a waste of time because then some people can't hear you." And I go, "That's the point. If they can't hear me on 5 watts, but they can hear me on 50, they're going to think maybe I need to do something on my end to make it better."
Yep, I agree with you. That's good theory. But anyway, I don't want to hold up your net. I was just wanting to get in first because I don't know how long I'll be able to hang out. And I did want to try out my antenna, and it looks good. It looks like I'm getting good scale on your meter. And I do appreciate you doing the net. This is K4 BWA.
Yeah, very good, Rick. I'm glad you checked in. I'm glad things are going better. Yeah, we'll get to the bottom of that thing on those capacitors because I had some other input. I'll send you an email or something, but I'm going to get that apart and we'll go from there. K4PEW. Have a go on Ricky. That was Ricky K4WBA or BWA, excuse me, K4WBA. He does the net on 147.555 Thursday nights. That would be tomorrow at 7 p.m. So I get that right, Ricky?
Oh yeah, you sure did, and I appreciate the plug. K4BWA.
Yeah, very good. That was K4BWA. Portland. Who else is short on time or mobile or first time checking? All righty, we'll start from the west then. Please come now.
KG4ILV, Jack and Donaldson.
I was wondering if today was Wednesday.
I had to find my mic. I'm where is it?
Very good. Everything going okay? You sound good?
Oh, yeah, everything's going great. And thanks for doing the net, Paul.
Very good. That was Jack and Donaldson. Kilo Golf 4, India Lima Victor. Who is next up on west? Well, it's going to be a lonely net tonight. West, please come now. How about south? Very good. How you doing, Mike?
Doing good. Sounds like it's going to be another short night. West is out there.
Yeah. They're all busy watching the people standing around in ankle deep water down in Florida on the web. Very good. Anything else going good? By the way, I'm sure you're going to be participating in that in the Tennessee QSO party.
I just saw that post. I'm not sure if I'm going to or not.
Well, it's nice to dip your feet into it once in a little bit. That can't hurt.
That's true.
Oh, I don't think of those things as contests at all. I'll dip in there and see who I can hear or who I can, same thing, who I can hear or who I can't hear, and or if they can hear me, that kind of stuff. Anyway, anything else for the net, Mike?
I'm playing around with Whisper and just put 1 watt out on the 7300. Surprised you that was going pretty much almost halfway across the country and covered the East Coast and up to Canada.
Isn't that amazing?
It is. I just wonder if I bumped it up to 20 watts. What would happen?
You burn up everybody's receiver.
Yeah, probably. That's it for the net. Everybody's staying healthy, staying out of trouble. K3PR.
I can only do one of those at a time. That's Mike, K3, Kilo 3, Mike, Papa Romeo. He's here in Mount Juliet. Who else is west or south?
K4 KQ.
Hey, Mr. One Time over there in Wordle.
That's right. Yeah, I got first time ever, and yeah, you knew it had to be my word, right?
Well, I did. That's why I went the long way on my answer. You saw that, right?
Yeah, right.
No, I knew. I didn't even have to look at what you did. I knew what the answer was because I just thought it was funny.
Well, it'll probably be the only time I get to crow about it, and of course, nobody else on the air knows what we're talking about. K4 KQ.
Oh, they can look up Wordle, the WRDLE, and figure it out. But no, the beauty of that is your word will probably never come up again in our lifetime, nor will the one I did on the first try. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe it will. Who knows? Maybe it's random and it will come up again. Because there's something like 15,000 5-letter words in the English language.
Well, that's true. Well, it's a shame whimsy is more than 5 letters.
Yeah, but I love the words I made up to fit the blocks I had.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. That's it. That's all I got.
Yeah, very good. That's Tony. He's in Smyrna. And that's KF4, KFQ. Good signal as always. Who else is south or west? Yeah, I can't wait to get the new antenna, Larry, because I can just read you above the noise. It never used to be that way. And you'd think just by moving it about 30 feet that it wouldn't make any difference, and it certainly did make a difference. Yeah, I didn't hear all of that. So 73. I hope you're doing good. And thanks for checking in spite of my lousy hearing of you now. That's Kilo Echo 4, Sierra Yankee Victor, and that's Larry in Rockville. Who else is west or south? Okay, over the east.
KG4 CXE, Christian Royal Hill.
Hey, you want to do me a favor?
Sure.
Check in about 4 times in the next few minutes. Check in 4 or 5 times in the next few minutes.
I don't have that many calls, unfortunately, but you can put me down a couple times if you want.
No, nobody knows if they were fake calls. They just know your voice. That'd be the problem. You're going to have to get a voice changer.
Well, I'll work on it.
Yeah. I do that to Mike when he calls the Nets. I change my voice and try to check in as my ex-wife.
That's got to be funny.
Well, it's once or twice. It's funny. It's not funny after a while. Everything going good?
Yeah, pretty good over here, Paul. How about you?
Good. Speaking of voice changers, I saw that I saw it on Twitter. Something about, I think it was Musk who's got a voice changing software or something. I don't know what it was. I didn't catch it.
There's no telling. They've got AI software now that'll just pretty much put together words just like a human does pretty well, unfortunately.
Well, it's actually kind of scary because between AI voice and AI image, CGI type stuff, we're not going to know if we're looking at who the person we think we're looking at in a political office, or we're not going to really know.
There was something about, speaking of that, there was a World Robot Convention or something in China. It was pretty crazy how lifelike they were. It was nuts. So yeah, I can imagine with all the mannerisms and all the expressions they've got going on, plus some voice that sounds well put together, it could be pretty easy to get confused.
I think AI might be a little confused on 2 people doing them accurately. That'd be both Donald Trump and Joe Biden.
That would be interesting.
They could have a rap battle between those 2 guys, and I think it would be hilarious. With AI, because they'd both be tough.
Yeah, and everybody would watch it.
Yeah, it'd be great. Okay, let's do that.
Oh, I'm good. I have too much work going on to play that type of game.
Nice concept, though. Anyway, anything else for the net, Chris?
No, that's all I've got, Paul. 73.
Very good. That's Christian, Rural Hill, Kilo Golf 4, Charlie, X-Ray Echo. Who else is south? West, south, or east?
Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa, Michael and Lefton.
Hey, Michael. Everything going good on your end of the universe?
Doing okay, but you got me a little worried with this AI. I'm afraid one of these days I might not even know it's me talking to myself.
That's what I'm saying. It gets kind of creepy when you think about it, that somebody could conceivably take your identity in a different way, through voice and or image. It's kind of tough with the image thing, I think, for the average schmuck like me. But the voice thing can throw people way off.
Well, I'm worried because I'll usually only listen to myself, but if I don't even know who I am, how am I going to listen to myself?
Yeah, well, since I only take advice from myself, I'm not sure I could trust the AI.
Yeah, that's my deal right there. Got me a little worried. They have to quit listening to my own self.
It does get freaky, though, when you think about what they could do with AI. I mean, when you consider the size of computers and their capacities, they could do just about anything to fool. I mean, people are regularly fooled by just silly magic tricks, let alone that.
Oh, yeah. My mother got fooled a few years ago by one of these grandmother schemes where this kid called and told her that he was her grandson over in San Diego someplace, and he got arrested and needed money.
Oh boy, yeah, I know. That kind of stuff is sick, really, and they take advantage of it. Older people like me.
Well, her only saving grace was that she wouldn't do anything behind mine or at that point my ex-wife's back. And so when they said, don't tell mom and dad, she said, no, you got to tell your mom and dad. And she ended up calling me, and I basically dissolved the whole thing for her and told her that she wasn't really talking to him. Oh,
that's funny. That's great. That's great. I'm glad you got that resolved. She didn't get stuck with money she was bright enough to call you anyway.
Yeah, there's so many of them that fall for it at this point in time. You got to be careful every time you answer the phone. If you're not in my contacts on my phone and you don't leave a message, I delete it as soon as it quits ringing.
Oh yeah, I even have repetitive messages marked as spam.
I get calls all day long that are silent call. My phone never rings, because sometimes they'll leave a voicemail, but the phone never rings. So I know it's a scam.
Oh well, that's the whole point. If somebody, like on the home phone, it's rare unless you tell me I'm going to call you on your home phone, Paul. I won't even. That phone will ring all day, which it doesn't. But people gave up long ago. But when it does ring, I don't even look at it, let alone go see what it is. And if there's something there, they'll leave a message. And I've never. It's rare to have somebody leave a message.
That's me. I got rid of the landline many years ago, and so like I say, I carry my phone with me. And if you call me, if I don't have your number in my contacts and you don't leave a message, it's going to get deleted.
Yeah, it's crazy that we've gotten to that point, isn't it? Because back in the good old days, you raced to get to the phone because you didn't want to miss the call.
That's the truth. Let's go back to that old saying, dog, we trust, all else pays cash.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I remember a long distance call used to be the other side of the county.
It wasn't that many years ago. I remember when I was dating my wife, and that was in 2003. From Rutherford to Wilson County was a long distance phone call.
Doesn't that sound crazy? When I was in Florida, Tampa, if you're familiar with Florida, I think you are, Tampa and St. Pete are just across the bay from each other. Well, because of that long distance issue, they made a compromise between the two counties for GTE, who was the company at the time. Every call you made one way or the other was a quarter. Cost you a quarter to call. You go, really, a quarter to call 4 miles across the bay?
It's funny how it always seems, it's like they say, you never built the house.
That was funny. Anyway, anything else for the net, Michael?
No, just listen in. Thanks for doing the net tonight, Paul. I guess we'll talk to you soon. 73C at Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa.
Very good. That is Michael in Lebanon, Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa. Who else is west, south, or east?
KM4YRS.
Yeah, hold on, Earl. Michael, you feeling any better?
No, not really. I just feel like I've been beat.
Yeah, the COVID blues, man. That's awful. It was really bad, huh? Did you have the boosters or didn't you?
I had the first booster. I haven't had the new booster, and I doubt that I'll get that. But it's been the worst thing I've been through in a long time.
So it's like a really bad, just regular flu from the past.
Yeah, it just started out with a headache, and then it just every joint in my body hurts, and I feel like somebody's jumping up and down on me.
Yeah, that sounds like a bad thing. I hope it doesn't go around too far around the community. I don't know. I think some people are more prone to get it than others. I think because there's a lot of people that got it for sure, but not everybody did.
Well, it's definitely on the rise, according to the doctor.
Yeah, no, that's what they say. That was at the VA today, and they told me the same thing. And I said, well, is there another booster you're going to force on me? They go, yeah, it's down the road a ways.
Well, she told me that they've checked like 50 people, and about half of them, the test is negative for COVID, and half is positive, but they all have exactly the same symptoms.
So that test ain't worth duty.
That's what I
said. That's pretty funny. I'm sure that's correct though, because man, that is so wild. So even that, not only do the boosters are screwed up, the vaccines, the test for the is screwed up.
She said the test is only about 75% accurate.
And have we verified the accuracy of her?
Nope.
Well, very good. I hope you feel better, Michael.
Thank you, Paul. 73. Thank you for what you did.
If you need something, call Uber because I don't want to go near your house.
I hear that. I wouldn't want anybody to have it.
Yeah, very good. All right, good to have you in there, Michael. Go back to bed. I hope really. I want you to get better. That was Michael, Kilo Mike 4 Yankee Romeo Foxtrot. And I'm sure you can hear him, but he's somehow gathered up COVID between. Let's see, his last work day was Thursday, and then he came to the breakfast on Saturday. So we have no idea where he got it, or how he contracted it, or nothing. Anyway, hope he's feeling better. We'll have to find out if there's anybody who went to the breakfast who got COVID. Maybe that's an answer. We got it over there at the. Well, it's conceivable we could have got it at the Hamfest on Saturday, or at Shoney's. We'll have to find out if anybody else checks in. Who else is west, south, or east?
Could have been the COVID oatmeal.
Probably was. Yeah, that's right. I forgot that Shoney's has the COVID oatmeal.
84 DE.
Hey, there you go. Almost forgot about you, Earl. Everything okay?
Yeah, pretty well. I was had gone I don't know, a few days ago. I was checking out that their AI thing myself, and you know, they got a acronym or a name they assign to that in when it wants to actually go outside of its protocol.
You say it does have a name for it?
Yeah, they call it DAN. DAN. Do anything now. You ask the questions and everything like that. It gives answers other than the supposedly programmed human safety type built-in protocol that it's got, so it can be overridden just by typing in, calling it Dan. Do anything now.
Yeah, I don't. Like I've heard many people say, several people anyway, they're in the higher places than me. But they're telling how this is it's dangerous, but we're going to have to deal with it because it's going to be involved in a lot of things.
Well, just like all that, they're license plate readers and you got to get a yellow star on your driver's license. And, it's it's been going on for longer than I can imagine, or would like to imagine, but it's going on.
Well, I'm guessing that you could actually put together one of those AIs for ham radio, and it would control the radio, and you could do all through the night. You could just do QSOs with it, and it would sound like a human being doing QSOs all over the country, all over the world.
Yeah. All the thing you gotta do is get a voice pattern of your voice and manipulate the software, the hardware to translate it. And there you go. The way these SDRs are now, software defined radios. I mean, they got a internet cable you can hook up to them, and wham bam, there you go. You're on something there now, Paul.
Oh yeah, well, that certainly wouldn't be any fun. Just get up in the morning and say, how many QSOs did we do today? Anyway, anything else with that, Earl?
No, I got my lawnmower just now put away and cleaned up a pretty good spot in the yard, practicing my stewardship, I guess, so to speak. At least that's what I call it. But had to get out the old pick hole and pickaxe, whatever, however it's called nowadays. People may not know what one is, but anyway, had to get hands-on, get down to the roots, and get the weeds out of my compost bin. You ever hear of anybody weeding their compost bin? But anyway, that's all I got. 7-3, Paul. Good to have you around, and hope Mike gets feeling better, and everybody else be feeling better too. KU4 DEZ 7-3.
Man, I'm sure you know it, man. Roots seek out those compost bins.
Yeah. It's been I've been kind of trying to keep them down with the lawnmower / bush hog, but daggone, it's been I don't know about over in my yard for about a week and a half, so it's been on the back burners being outside for very long.
Yeah, very good. Let me roll. I hear somebody else calling in right on top of us there. Earl, anything else for the net?
No, just be good, stay cool, and calm and collected. KE4 DEZ back to net.
Yeah, very good. That's Earl. Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu and Noreen. I heard. I think it was Kilo Echo 4 Foxtrot Echo Golf. Is that who I heard? Foxtrot Echo Golf. Man, I was sure I heard that call. He must have stepped away, or he can't hear me. All right. Anybody else east? Okay. Heard a squelch break. Anybody else out there? Kilo India 4 Zulu. Say that again, please. Oh, Zulu Delta. I could have. I don't know why my ears heard India Gulf. I wondered. I knew who that's what. How are you doing? I'm doing great. Your signal seems a little lower than normal. You doing something different? Okay, yeah, because it's a lot lower and very narrower audio. You know, it's not as good as before.
Antenna is not ideal. It's still stubby antenna that's sitting off the side of the vehicle to kind of keep protected. So it's not the most ideal setup.
Oh, no, I was curious. I knew it sounded different than the last time you checked in. Everything going well?
Yeah, it's going well. I got around to the email. I've been out of town for the first part of this week. I've got stuff going on the next couple of days, and I'm going out of town for the weekend. So if I can get something together, I'll figure out a plan when I can have time to run by and take a look at that tower, that push-up pole you got. I'll try to get an email to you.
Oh yeah, no, it's not going anywhere. Believe me, I got a couple of them.
All right, that sounds good. Yeah, as I can listen to the video and see what this radio sounds like.
Oh, it's not terrible. It's not terrible. It's just a little narrower on the, like I said, a little less oomph to the audio, and it was a little lower signal than, I think, a little lower than before. I think.
Yeah, that makes sense though. Just thinking about this radio setup.
Yeah, well, I can't trust my memory, so I'm pretty. Anyway, you made it in just fine. That's all that matters. Anything else with that?
No, sir. Appreciate you running it.
Very good. That's Kevin. He's here in Mount Juliet, kind of Gladeville. That's Kilo India 4 Zulu Delta Golf. Who else is west, south, or east?
John and Brillis.
Hey, John. That's two nets in a row. What happened?
I don't know. Right place, right time.
Nah, very good. Everything going good?
Yeah, Roger. Everything with you, Paul.
Oh, yeah. Really, just getting older every day. That's all.
Roger. Nothing for that. Just checking in.
Yeah, good. Everything else is going well for you business-wise?
Yeah, just doing some more cases. So I just run around like a crazy chicken.
Well, people don't, a lot of people wouldn't do sales, as you probably know. And I did it for, I don't know, 20 years, 25, I forget. I have to do the math. But there's a lot of people, the reason they can't do it is because it's not like, because there's a pressure that you put on yourself and the company puts on you to do certain things. And things can, in the business I was in, I could go actually days and weeks without a sale. And then I get a few big sales. It's like, you have to have patience and you have to be able to tell the boss with it that he's going to have to, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of pressure on yourself to get something done, you know?
Yeah, Roger. It's a different animal, but we're adapting, so change is good sometimes. K1 JTB.
Oh yeah. Anyway, that was John. He's in Brentwood. Kilo 1 Juliet Tango Bravo. Who else is west, south, or east? Or north? Oh, I don't even have anybody north tonight. Must be big shows on TV or something.
KD4VW, Carlin, Angel Mount Vernon Community webpage.
Ah, very good. How you there, Carolyn? Yeah, I was. I think you already told me about. You told me about Ricky's antenna, didn't you? Because he told me that he tore it down and they had those capacitors messed up.
He said that one was obliterated. That's probably the 2.5 because it's directly across the coax. I heard you were telling him you were having trouble with the Allen screw. But if you can get your Allen wrench to set off down in that screw good and snug, keep the Allen wrench up a little bit. I read that on a log where somebody was having a problem with that same deal with the screw, and they told them to heat it up, and it would break loose and come on out.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, because that was, I remember the what I just confirmed though, he was using his amp on that thing, and I've never been over 50 watts, and he was using an amp, I think upwards of over 80 plus regularly on the antenna, so might even been more.
I think it was 150 or 160 is what he was driving down to it. But that antenna, that 510, is rated for 350 on FM on 2 meters and 250 on 70 centimeters. So it should have been able to handle it. So I don't know, but I've been looking at a bunch of those antennas, and there's various brands where they've showed that input section of the antenna and stuff, and they're all almost direct copies of each other, different brands and stuff, and they're all using those small little caps. Some of them are rated 400 volts, and some of them are rated 500 volts. So I don't know. He's going to bring his antenna, I guess, to the meeting next week, and I'm hoping he's going to bring it. If he does, I'll bring it home, and I'm going to make the coax capacitor for it. I've got the coax here. I'd like to be able to bring it home and do that, and then set it up out in your yard about 5 foot off the ground or something, drive some power into it. You know, I've got 100 watts here on this radio, and see how it works and stuff. So I don't know. But anyhow, like I said, it just seems like that's a real common problem, and especially in a lot of the diamond antennas, is where I'm seeing it on the 200, the 300, the 500, and the 700 are all having that same issue with that capacitor, or both of them. It seems like it's mostly that one because, like I told you here a while last time I talked to you, there's 2 capacitors are stacked, and the center lead of the coax feeds between the 2 capacitors, and the 2.5 goes to ground, which puts it right across the coax, and then the 7.5 goes up and taps the, I think, number 3 turn of the coil, and then on the top side of the coil goes on up into the antenna. It seems like it's the 2.5 that's failing, so I don't know. It's kind of strange. You would think they would address that problem, but I don't know. But anyway, to get off the capacitor net, I don't know. So just check in here. I just happened to get back from going and having me a little dinner after mowing the yard stuff. I went up Westmoreland to a little place called Kathy's. Had me a good little meal and come back, and I thought, I think I've made it in time for the net, and I did. Y'all just got started when I got the radio turned on and everything. So anyway, hope everybody is having a good time tonight. Hope they're going to enjoy the big blue moon that we got coming, and I guess that's going to be tomorrow. I guess the last day of the month, I reckon, or maybe tonight. I don't know. It's supposed to be a super blue. It's supposed to be a super moon and a blue moon. Both of them. Ain't that something? 2 in 1. So we're gonna have that either tonight or tomorrow night. I don't know which, but anyway, if they had it tonight, I done missed the super part of it. It's probably done up high enough so that it don't look big anymore. But anyway, I guess I'll shut up and jump out of here and let somebody else check in. And I don't know who it was a minute ago. Their call ended in a G or something like that. They was pretty much 60 over on me. I don't know why you couldn't hear them or anything, but oh well. Location. Anyway, I'll turn it back over to you there. So have a good night tonight. KD4VW up here in Angel Town, and I guess I'll shut up.
Yeah, that was Carlin in Angel Town, Kilo Delta 4 Victor Uniform Whiskey. No, I heard the FEG station, but he didn't come back to me, so I don't know what the heck happened to him. Anyway, anybody else north or anywhere?
WB0NOO.
Hello, Mark. Everything well?
Everything's well. Nothing to report. Been a busy day, but that's all.
Busy. You must be taking care of your grandkids.
No, that was just one day. Of course, I'm still recuperating from it.
How old?
Well, he's 8 now.
Well, that's enough trouble right there. Hey, that'll keep you busy.
Yeah, he's a good kid. If you leave him alone, he'll be on his iPad all the time.
Yeah, that's kind of troubling, you know that?
Yeah, it is. My daughter gives him so much time a day, and then his iPad actually times out on him. And he came to me and wanted to know if I'd put the passcode in and give him more time, and I didn't know it, so I couldn't do it.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure your childhood at that age was about like mine was. I could not wait to get out of school, go home, usually change my clothes, and it depends. Again, there was some ifs in there. Like I had a couple of chores I had to do in the house, but as soon as dinner was over, man, I was gone out of the house.
Oh yeah, I was gone all the time. And I know my mother used to say, "You better be home by dinner time." And when we were out, that was the rule. You know, we had to be home by dinner, which I think was about 6:30. So in the summer, we were out all day long, and it was good though. It was a good childhood to be able to do that. And I know that if you were at a friend's house and it was lunchtime, you'd always get a free lunch.
Oh yeah, yeah. I had a friend of mine whose family was pretty meager, I'll call it. They were living on the edge. They were relatively poor. They could afford a color TV, but I went over to his house and he goes, "You want a sandwich?" I go, "Okay." And I mean to tell you, this house was Spartan. Looked like the honeymooners. You know, they didn't have squat. It was just awful. And so what's he do? He makes me a sandwich, and he took margarine and put it on a slice of bread, and then he took a teaspoon and poured a bunch of sugar on the margarine, and then put another piece of bread. It was a sugar sandwich.
Yeah. Well, you probably got what you needed with it. But yeah, I don't know what. I don't have any idea what we ate. I think we ate a lot of peanut butter.
Oh yeah, no, the whole again. I think the children of today, there are some, I'm sure, but like you said, during the summer, I would tell my mother I was leaving in the morning. In fact, I often left, particularly during the summer, and some weekends on Saturdays, I'd get up early before they got up, and I'd be out going fishing in the Niagara River, and I'd be gone all day. I mean, she didn't hear from me from the previous night till I got home at 5 in the afternoon.
Yeah, I guess there wasn't near as much to worry about, or we just didn't worry about it in those days. But I did the same thing. I spent much of my childhood at a neighborhood gravel pit, which was about as close as we had to water, fed by Brandywine Creek. So that's about all we had. But it was full of bluegills and turtles and frogs, and it was always a fun place to go.
And that's what I think the kids are missing today.
Yeah, I think you're right. All right, I'll get off soapbox.
Yeah, just reminiscing how I think they're missing out on some great times in the summer. Staring at like just imagine there when I hit your or my age, you're gonna go, remember when we had an iPad? It was really slow. Yeah, it sucked. Anyway, that was Mark. Whiskey Bravo Zero, November, Oscar. And who else is any place, anywhere?
Kilo in. Import TV.
Hey, hold on, Stan. I had David in there. KK. Yeah, I got to get everybody down here. All right. How you doing, David?
Oh, doing pretty good, Mr. Ball. Just stepped out and took a look at that beautiful full moon out there. That's one thing I didn't want to miss. Kids miss a lot this day and time. I don't know how many go out and look, but I remember them days. Back to you, sir.
Yeah, I was thinking of when he brought up the full moon before. I remembered when I was young, and I mean, I'm guessing I was under 8 years old. My parents woke me up because they wanted to make sure I saw a lunar eclipse. It was in the middle of the night.
Oh yeah, I tell you, those things that we don't take for granted then, and we don't take for granted today. Us older folks, that's for sure. But kids today, I don't know. You get them and look at that full moon there. Oh yeah, it's nice, and on they go back to their iPad.
Yes, it's a good thing there weren't iPads when I was a kid, because my parents wouldn't have bought me one. It was too expensive.
I know that's right. Well, anyway, it's modern technology is something else. It's unbelievable. But anyway, thank you, Paul, for what you do, and as always, demonstrate everybody on that. Get KI4ND and back to you, Joe.
Yeah, very good, very good. That was David Kilo India for November Delta November. He is in Reedyville. He was an early supporter of the net. I have to tell you that. That's really funny. In fact, he brought me a couple of custom-made T-shirts which I still have. He just hasn't seen me wear them in a long time. Anyway, Stan, KM4HQ, how are you doing?
Doing well, Paul. How about you?
Good. You didn't make any progress on your Johnson? It sounds like an awful question, huh?
Yeah, sort of. I got over the mix, and it looks like it's going to put out good power, but I ordered some capacitors for it, so wait for them to get here and replace all those.
Yeah, I saw a video one time a few years ago. There's this curmudgeon of a guy who lives up. Obviously he's astute enough to rebuild radios, and he said in his video, I have to find it for you, that he has yet to find a radio that needed all the capacitors. Even if it's an old radio, the capacitors held up well, and I don't believe him.
There was a lot of those capacitors they call the black beady ones because of the black appearance on them. They're prone to dying over time, and those ones that have the wax on the axial ones that have wax on either end of the capacitors, they're known for going bad over time. And of course, electrolytes die over time. Especially if you don't use the radio all that much, they'll die.
Yeah, I suppose so. I don't know that there's any perfect answer to that. Even, obviously you even can have newer capacitors now that fail early for any variety of, reasons,
Yeah, this is true, Paul, but I want to hook you up back to that KM4HQ.
Yeah, very good. Stan's got a Johnson AM transmitter that he's working on that he bought at the over there in Huntsville, and he's having fun fixing it up and making it work. Who else is that was Kilo Mike for Hotel Quebec Echo, by the way, and Stan, and he's in Lebanon. Who else is east or anywhere? I'm not hearing anything. I'm going to quit.
Kilo Quebec 4 Foxtrot Echo Golf again.
Very good. I called out. You didn't hear me, I don't think.
Oh, I heard you. I had a granddaughter emergency, so I'm back though. Sorry about that.
Oh no, I just figured you had stepped away from the mic or something because I know you could hear me.
Yeah. Well, I got a new HD the other day and stuff. Haven't really had the time. Left the manual at work, so I thought I'd go to ICOM's website and download the manual. It's not available.
Really? Which model is it?
It's the ICT10. It's an HT. I mean, it's one of their newer models, but it's like you don't have any manual on your website for it.
And that's ICOM? That's unusual for them.
Yeah, I've tried it in 2 different browsers. I mean, I don't know. But anyway, that's my night for tonight, listening to the net. So anyway, I'll let you get back to it, try to get a couple more check-ins. But it was good talking to you, and hope to catch you on Saturday night. Talk to you later. KQ4FEG.
Yeah, very good, Kevin. By the way, you can post that to the group. I think you're on the group site. Just post that to the group if somebody has the manual for that. I'm not familiar with that radio, but maybe somebody else has a manual.
I think it's one of their newer manuals. That might be the problem. I mean, I just don't have 45 minutes to play with it. I've got like 20 minutes, and I was just going to go through the manual and try to do it step by step. But I'll just deal with it again tomorrow and see. So.
All right. Well, if you have any trouble, let the group know. We might be able to help you out. There's always somebody who's, well, I know there's a lot of people smarter than me, but you know what I'm saying? There's always somebody out there with expertise.
All right. I appreciate that. And, hey, man, you have a good night. I appreciate what you do on this net. I really love checking into it. KQ4. Oh, and by the way, my call sign's probably going to be changing pretty soon. But anyway, KQ4 FEG, back to you.
Oh, very good. Well, if you change, make sure to tell me who you are when you do it. So otherwise, I won't recognize the call. No, good. I hope it's going to be a good one. That's it. That's not a bad call you have now. It's just that I didn't like the longer call. That was the reason I changed mine. I only, mine's a 1x3, but some people are getting a 1x2, Anyway, that was Kevin. He's in Bethpage. Anybody else, any place, anywhere? Okay. I'm not hearing anybody, so I think we're going to cut there at 17. We've been the second or third time we've hit only 17, so I guess everybody's gone into sleep mode, slumber, into hibernation in the heat of the summer. Anyway, last chance before we move over to 10 meters. All right, we're going to move right over to 28.415. I'll see you there. And we're following that up by 223.415. So we'll see you then. K4 PEW. Appreciate everybody who checks in. This is Kilo 4, Papa Echo Whiskey with the Mount Juliet Simplex Radio Net on 10 meters. Looking for check-ins from the west. Please come down. Anybody? Am I hearing no one or am I hearing somebody?
No one.
I suspected Jack would be in there from the west. Come now.
KG4ILV.
Man, oh man, I thought it was going to be another super short net, Jack.
I was feeling lonely on that last one.
That's all right. We had, well, who knows? I'm not worried about it. I just, people come and go, and we're in one of those low periods. Anyway, that was Jack. Kilo Go for India Lima Victor. Who else is west? Or south?
K3 NPR still sitting in the south.
Very good. That's Michael. K3 Mike Papa Romeo over in just east of me, kind of behind Providence. A little farther behind it than behind it, but he's back there. I get a kick out of the night behind Providence. They got those, what are those, 3 or 4 story apartment buildings? I think they're apartments, aren't they?
Actually, I'm closer to Pine Creek Golf Course off below.
Oh, no, I know. I'm just saying those apartments right behind Providence. I just can't imagine living in those.
No, too rich for my money.
I guess. I don't know. I don't even know how much they are. I don't want to know how much they are. Anyway, who else is, that was Michael in here in over east of Providence. That's actually in almost closer to Gladeville, isn't it? Anyway, who else is south or east?
KM4 YRF.
All right, we got Michael in there, Kilo Mike 4, Yankee Romeo Foxtrot on COVID patrol. It's a lonely COVID patrol. Very good. He's in Mount Juliet. That's Michael. Who else is east?
Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo.
Very good. We got Earl in there. Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu in Noreen. Who else? A good signal, by the way, Earl. Who else is south or east? Very good. Got you in there. KM4 HQE. That's Stan in Lebanon. Kilo Mike 4 Hotel Quebec Echo. Who else is east? or north. Anybody, any place then, please come now. Okay, I think we rounded that one up with a grand total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, buddy. Really, 6 is a lucky number tonight. It's 17 on 2 meters and 6 on 10 meters, and we're going over to 223.415 unless I hear differently. Are anybody hearing any stations I can't hear?
Hearing anything, Paul?
I just want to make sure. Anyway, appreciate it, Michael. Hope you feel better. Get to bed, man. And you're not. How is your daughter and son? Are they staying away from you?
Oh yeah, like the plague.
Well, kind of is the plague in a way. I wouldn't want to get it. Anyway, last chance. All righty, let's go. Let's all check in again. No, we're going over to 223.415. We'll catch you there. K4 PEW.